My name is Fernando Leibowich. I'm CEO of BekerCo. We are the biggest nichest services BPM company in Latin America, based in Mexico City and with office in another place. We are working mainly with the IBM platform, IBM BPM, IBM ODM, and we developed several solutions, commercial solutions. The heart of our solution is called Bebop. This is a process app, our set of 5 process apps based in IBM BPM technology that is open source. You can download and use. And is developed mainly for the financial services with the connection with typical CRM, with the core legacy systems, with another services to provide information for this. I want to talk in a case that we couldn't use exactly Bebop as is in a client that has a very complicated process for account open for loan origination that we can have to use another stuff, and he wants more flexibility. The flexibility that mainly the user, not IT, can change the flow of how it's working, and this flexibility will implemented in our Bebop solution. This flexibility, it's about to change how to change the different paths and to reuse screens and to change the screens, but without coding. So not it's about for programmers, it's about for the users. And we talking with a smart guy from the client side, and we started working with state machines. That is a concept that is not very used, and we didn't find too much information in the world, really, in the internet. At first, how we use these state machines in this at this IBM BPM, but you can use in every platform. First, we developed tasks in the BPM, but this task is not related. Then a master coach that is a huge screen with all the different variations that with different modules that is activate and disactivate. Then we link this with ODM, IBM ODM, that is a tool that is now trendy, the decision management system. And we create in this ODM business rules to create the state table. For state machines, if you are friendly with the concept, you need to have this state table to define sorry that is in Spanish, the current state, the input, the maximum state that reach, and then which is the next state. This is a typically state machine. Then we create there in the state machine the different values because the situations are not exactly the same always. And as ODM allows, as many decision management systems, the user can change without touching the BPM, only change the decision management system like in Excel. For the user, it's an Excel, right? And after finish the working, when it's working the flow, is a variable is assigned to know the next state, right? Now we are implementing this state machine, starting implementing this state machine concept for our apps, but I think that it's a very interesting concept to use in another systems to be more flexible. No, it's not no code, it's more to have flexible that the user, the final user can use that, right? In the different screen, the modules can activate, deactivate, be read-only or not according to the state machine parameters that is set, and the user can change in that. Well, I'll show briefly. I'm the last in the day. You're very tired, but I will go very fast with that. For example, this is the IBM BPM platform. Then I want to show first from the Bebop, that is this process app that is open source. If you have IBM BPM or you want or use the trial that is for free in the web page from IBM, you can download our app and use this as you want. Sorry, that is. It's like a typically long process, right? That you know, with all the parameters that typically are used in the bank, with the documentation attached. In the process diagram, but first, this is the assist situation in the case of this client, that they say, okay, this is a typical process, but my process is more complicated than the typical process. Every client say that, really. It's not new, but say, no, that's because it's not a flow. My process is not a flow. Really, I have some variation that because the credit for the big corporations are not too easy like a small business of a person, because you have to go back, and I can define that, right? Everybody knows that, but in this case, really was very complex. The process are a standard process with a typically flow doesn't meet with the requirements, and then I want to show first how we do in the state machine. That is, the different tasks are not with relation between them, because should be like semi-independent to be configured by the ODM, by the decision management motor. Only like start, init, and end in this case, and the different different tasks are not shown by default for the user, because if not, is in the inbox they have a lot of options, right? Only have the init, and then it's like enabled and disabled during the process flow. And then we have several code. This is not very too low environment, low code environment. But I think it's good because we have more flexibility with that. It's about opinions. I didn't realize that was in Spanish as we're working. And inside the task, then is this is the core about visibility. We have this automatic task of field visibility, the machine state, that is the service that you use with the ODM, different semi-flow, and then the output with the variables. That is important. The tasks are like not with the flow, but yes, is linked to any streamline, because this is about the security stuff and it's about to assign the roles. This should works like this, and and then go to the ODM. That is when where it's running that. First, the user can see that, right? Very easy, like an Excel spreadsheet. How is the state machine? Not too much concept to do that. We recommend to the user that test this stuff, because the user only think that they change the state and then start working and everything works well. We have to test too, because it's like a change in the system, but it's without code. That the state machine, the another state. The current state, as you see, is defined several states, in this case more than 20, then linked with the main coach, and with the defined inputs, maximum states, and next steps is defined, which is the behavior of the system. We can insert a row and create a new state or a new behavior. Very, very, very easy. Because the tool is programming in the other side. This is all. I wanted. This is not about talk about the product mainly, but it's aligned with yesterday was very trendy topic about decision management. How to use this decision management for the real problems that we have in the clients every day, right? I think I can share you and to use in every platform as you want. Some ask why we didn't use case management for that, right? Because case management should work in that. We analyze, now IBM is changing their platforms, but we analyze the last year, the platforms and the functionality. And the problem that we met is that was not too strong to how to assign for the next state that this case management do. For example, in most of the case, the user select the next, like the next owner of that. And this should be very flexible, but not too flexible that the user select who is the next in the line to do that. And this should have strong rules that the rule for us is better to put it in the decision management system. And the BPM systems are strong enough to support this stuff and all the programming. We prefer to do with all the functionalities to do in BPM. This is all. If you have any question, are you very tired because I'm the last?
Fernando, what's applying the same lens to ODM in terms of having a dependency on that and perspective on the future of that? You've built it in an ODM, but is there a dependency going forward?
Dependency, we have dependency for any decision management system. You can change ODM. In this case, the client bought all the IBM suite they have, but the interesting stuff that we are trying, we are a services company from over BPM, right? Not exactly they only work with IBM, but usually work with that. But in all the projects, we are trying to move the decisions to any decision management systems, because it's very easy then to do maintenance and to upgrade. Maybe at first the client say, why are you using so complicated to integrate with the decision management system, and it's a new integration, new problems, and you can do like hard coding, same cases. And we said, but this is like the first step to go then in the roadmap to that. And in this case, we use this tool. I'm happy that I'm seeing more tools in this event, and it's very interesting that they are creating more tools about decision management, but we prefer to use any decision management, but no inside the BPM, right. Start to move out.
And that, I agree with that completely. I think that's generally a popular sentiment here. One of the biggest challenges is to orient the thinking around BPM developers to realize that those decision events have to be identified and that decision logic externalized, and that's not going to be, it's no longer for them to do when they think, just as you described, it'll be so easy for us just to program that decision.
Yes.
It's a very different
when we go to a client that has more than 5 years of implementation for any BPM, we see a lot of hard coding, a lot of hard coding. And we say, why we don't use another platform for decision management? They say, performance problem. A lot of people talk about performance. They never tried really to do a performance test, but no, I heard that it's a lot of performance problem because instead of you have there the code, you have to connect to another system, then back with information, and this has in the network, and blah, 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 a lot of performance problem. I think that really they don't want to integrate because it's easier to hard coding, really, it's easier, but it's not so powerful like to do that. This is really, this is a real case that we developed. We didn't think about another notation, maybe exist. We try to use the typical, the most common object that we use. Maybe exist another, but we didn't think about if another that fits better in this case. Maybe yes. And maybe we have to start to use the notation that is DMN that I have to learn about that. I have to buy the book.
All right, Fernando, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, well, we do have